Iconic actress Gal Gadot, known for portraying the role of Wonder Woman in the DCU, talked about a role that she was offered back in 2011. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. As crazy as it sounds, Gadot was supposed to portray an antagonistic role in Zack Snyder's 2013 film Man of Steel. The entry of Snyder and the birth of the DCU saw Henry Cavill fighting General Zod in the origin story of Superman. Gal Gadot found worldwide fame when she first appeared in the 2016 Zack Snyder film Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Starring alongside Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill with some iconic music from Hans Zimmer, the world loved the character of Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot, at that time, was pregnant with her first daughter and had no choice but to decline the role. Gadot recalled that if she wouldn't have been pregnant, she would have taken the role. "When I was pregnant with my daughter Alma, I got an offer to be the bad character in Superman. If I hadn't been pregnant, I would have taken the role, and there is no way they would have hired me to be Wonder Woman now." Although Gadot doesn't refer to which character she was offered the role of, it is heavily rumored that the Wonder Woman actress was offered the role of Far-El. Alongside General Zod was Far-El, General Zod's right-hand commander, and a fierce villain who went to Earth in search of Kal-El. However, a report by Net, via Batman News, states that Gadot was offered this role in Man of Steel. Everyone knows about Gadot's time in the Israeli military. After serving in the military for 2 years, the actress returned and turned to a life of studying law at a university. As fate would have it, Gal Gadot would go on to become a part of the DCU sometime later by portraying the iconic role of Diana Prince, aka Wonder Woman. This isn't the first time that Gadot has rejected a role. In an interview with InStyle, Gal Gadot revealed that she wasn't interested in being an actor at that time and that she went to meet the casting agent only because her agent told her to. "After my service in the military and modeling, I started university and studied law. There was a casting director there looking for the new Bond girl, and she had seen my card at my modeling agency." She further continued, "I was like, listen, I'm not an actress. I'm here because my agent told me you really wanted to see me, but I don't want to waste your time." Hence, in an alternate universe, Gal Gadot could have been a Bond girl in one of the James Bond movies, or she would have been one of the villains in Man of Steel. At that time, the producers of the James Bond franchise were looking for a Bond girl. The casting agent had already seen Gadot's card in a modeling agency, and thus, she was asked to audition for the role. However, Gadot chose to refuse both roles and in turn, became known for portraying the role of Wonder Woman in the DCU. Wonder Woman received a rating of 7.3/10 on IMDb and a whopping 93% on Rotten Tomatoes upon release. Instead of soaking in the spotlight of his Oscar win, Hamdan Bullal was suddenly thrust into the flames of violence, with his fate dangling by a thread. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Meanwhile, Gal Gadot, the Israeli actress who has often used her platform to voice support for Israel, remains silent on this issue. It's a tough pill to swallow. The world often dances around the edges of reality, avoiding the sharp edges of truth like a hot potato. And while some stand on the sidelines, trying to make a name for themselves in the echo chambers of global debates, others are out there, on the ground, experiencing the brutality of what the world pretends not to see. Take, for example, Hamdan Bullal. Not long ago, No Other Land took home the Oscar for Best Documentary Feature, a film that shed light on the harsh realities of Palestinian life under Israeli occupation. But less than a month after that monumental win, one of its directors, Hamdan Bullal, found himself in the most horrifying of situations, attacked by Israeli settlers in the village of Susia, a place central to the very story his film told. Yuval Abraham, another co-director of the film, shared the horrific details of the attack, describing how Bullal sustained injuries to his head and stomach. But what is perhaps even more damning is the role of the Israeli army, who, instead of intervening to protect Bullal, arrested him during his transport to safety. Less than a month after No Other Land clinched the Oscar for Best Documentary Feature, the film's co-director, Hamdan Bullal, found himself in a far more chilling spotlight. His success, which had touched hearts globally, was overshadowed by the brutal reality on the ground in the village of Susia, located in Sefer Yatta. According to The Guardian, Hamdan was brutally attacked by about 15 Israeli settlers, who did not just stop at physical violence but aimed to break the spirit of resistance his film had so powerfully portrayed. While he comforted Bullal's young son, the whereabouts of his co-director remained unknown. Adra described the terrifying situation via The Guardian. There were dozens of settlers together with the Israeli soldiers, and they were threatening us with weapons. The police were there from the beginning and did not intervene. While the soldiers were pointing their weapons at us, the settlers started attacking the houses of the Palestinians. The sheer audacity of this attack, right after the film's Oscar victory, suggests something even darker at play. As Adra put it, Basil Adra, another member of the No Other Land team, was left reeling after the violence, as he took to social media to report the aftermath of the attack. Now, let's turn the lens on Gal Gadot. The Wonder Woman star, whose name is nearly synonymous with empowerment and resilience, has used her platform to speak out about Israel's struggles. She has stood firm in her advocacy, posting messages on social media in solidarity with her homeland. No Other Land chronicles the efforts of Palestinians in Masafer Yatta to resist the Israeli military's attempts to demolish their villages. The story is one of struggle, resistance, and the fight to keep a home alive amidst constant threats of violence. And yet, despite the film's critical success, the violence continues. Adra, speaking to The Guardian, said it bluntly. Palestinians in the village have been under physical attack by settlers almost daily. The film, a collaboration between Palestinian and Israeli filmmakers, shows a community under siege. The question here is one of empathy. Where does it go when you're not in the spotlight? Gadot's silence in the face of Balal's assault is telling. When you're a public figure, your words and actions carry weight. It begs the question, does standing with Israel mean turning a blind eye to the suffering of the Palestinians? Her response to the October 7th Hamas-led attacks, for example, was unequivocal. She posted an image, via Instagram, of the Star of David with the caption, "I stand with Israel, you should too." But Gadot has been silent about the attack on Hamdan Bulal. Amid the controversy surrounding the brutal assault, she hasn't said a word. She has posted about the horrors faced by Israelis, but when it comes to Palestinians or the very people who made a film about the Palestinian struggle, her silence is deafening. Gal Gadot's Snow White flop might have cost her more than reviews. DC just killed off Wonder Woman, and fans aren't buying the timing. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Wonder Woman just got stabbed in the heart, officially. And the timing was brutal. Just days after Gal Gadot's Snow White remake hit IMDb rock bottom, DC Comics decided to off its most iconic heroine in Wonder Woman number 19. Coincidence? Fans aren't so sure. Gal Gadot's Snow White stumble might have triggered more than just bad reviews. It may have taken Wonder Woman down with it. DC just axed Diana Prince, and the timing's a little too on the nose. 1 minute, Gadot's fairy tale flick is flopping harder than a fish out of water, and the next, Wonder Woman's out. But in the chaotic world of capes and crowns, it feels like a shady plot twist. Gadot's tiara took a hit, and suddenly, the Amazonian legend was nowhere to be seen. Hollywood's playing rough, and poor Diana might have just taken the fall for a box office bomb. Diana's death isn't just another superhero exit, it comes after a full-blown Amazon massacre and the murder of Steve Trevor. She fought hard, stripped the sovereign of power, and locked him away. But revenge runs deep. A post shared by Screen Rant, at Screen Rant. In the latest issue by Tom King and Daniel